Welcome back to My Hero Academia Anime Review. This is special number 2. This is reviewing the 202nd chapter of the manga, third set. The chapter starts up pretty much not long after the events of the previous chapter where the second team from Class 1B beat the second team of Class 1A. Yep, everybody's pretty much licking their wounds. You have some conversation with Shunsro and Eraserhead. And we have so apparently because of all the damage taken during the last battle, it's like let's take a short break. Okay, fine. And we see Deku first time in probably I can think of probably about 3 chapters. I'd say 2 or 3 chapters. It hasn't been that long. And he talks a little while with Earth Gravity. It's like says everybody getting stronger. It's like sure you're writing a lot. You prove a lot too, Deku. He's like I hope that's the case. Yeah, but still can't hold on. Can't hold on to me. Yep. And then All Might shows up. First time in. I think this is the first time since the start of this, since the second chapter of this arc, he's actually shown up. So it's been a good 8 chapters since he's shown up. It's been a little while. He's like, Yamadoriya, yes sir, I am quietly here. Yeah, that's basically his catchphrase. I am here. Yep. And he says, I'm away, please. And then Pinky's like, well, aren't they close? Yeah, and of course they follow what happened pretty much with his last appearance. It's like he's playing ask Gran Torino about what happened with the dream with the other host, the previous host. And all of a sudden, then Bakuto shows up completely out of nowhere. It's like, you assholes forced me, you a-holes forced me to keep my mouth shut about, well, the whole secret of One for All. So quit trying to sneak around broad daylight and have a secret chat. Or it says, don't hurt me. Did something happen when One for All? It activated on its own. Says, yeah, I can't tell you if Emprise is regressing. Yeah, talk about their fight that happened way back. I think it was just before the start of the internship arc. And then we see the third set for Class 1A, Class 1B, which consists of Pony Surfer, who's basically his horn girl, Shin Tarari, Jinzo, and the other guy who's kind of like their version of the guy with the heart ability. And then we have the one for Class 1A. We have Todoroki, Tail, I don't remember his name, and Ingenium. Yep, have them for a second class. And of course, there's a brief conversation between Todoroki and Dark Shadow about how they studied under the number 1 and number 2 superheroes. Of course, they show a brief flashback of Todoroki's very terrible childhood of Endeavor trying to force him to become a superhero. Mm-hmm. And of course, you have Jenny put his helmet on. First time in quite a while. He's like, Guardian's like, I'll tear everything down. Yep. Real steel. And then, of course, we have kind of like what looks like the end. To look like about this, and then we have sort of like this bonus. I would say, yeah, this is sort of a bonus couple pages of the chapter. We have what's his name? What's her name here? It's Hensame, the one who made Deku's new his gauntlets and his boots, and a lot of other superheroes alternate attire. Yeah, we see her. As far as I know, this is the first time in quite a while she's showing up. I would say the last time she showed up was just before the start of the hero licensing fight, when she came up with Deku's new look. Yeah, that was the last time she physically showed up in the series, both in the anime and the manga. This is the first time in quite a while. I would probably say this is the first time in a little over 100 chapters she's been seen. Her and Front Loader. But there's been some kind of explosion. Yeah, she always have common explosions. And he's like, if you do anything like, finally, we finally get everything cleaned up. And she's like, I become aware of your concerns. And he tells her, like, hey, man, you'd be doing anything like that, it'd be banned. No worries. Even I won't make the same mistake twice. Yeah, even soon. And as a student of the support course, I want to help resolve your worries. And he's like, huh, she finally understands. He's like, let's try a baby in there 53. Isn't it cute? Looks like he's about to go into like use and you got it wrong. I'm distressing of your electricity. Yeah, it's really odd that they would end this chapter this way. Yeah. So bringing back this character was definitely a good idea. It's been some time since she last been seen. I'm happy she's back. And apparently she's still making inventions, which is great for her. I wouldn't be surprised when Deku becomes a hero that he actually brings her on as basically support. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised, but as far as even Earth Gravity is concerned, yeah, Deku did not have a thing for her at all. There's like nothing between them, like nothing unusual between, well, a normal relation between someone who builds, like between the adventurer and the superhero. There's nothing unusual here. She knows that because Deku's kind of never seen when he's around her because of like the first time she showed up in the arc, both in the anime and manga, when there was an explosion, she fell out the door and fell right on top of him. Basically, her chest ended up his face ended up in her chest, and of course she didn't say anything about it. Yep. But it's also nice to see Udo Grav in this chapter, which is nice. The fact that I'm curious though, why wasn't Frappe in this chapter? Like the team one team was the first team from Class 1A. They're not even seeing this chapter, which is a little weird. They have the previous team, the one that lost. They had them show up in this chapter. Well, Momo herself, who actually was a good part of the last few chapters, here she shows up for like one panel, and that's it. Seriously, one of the best characters of the series, and shows up at one panel. Yep, I'm gonna give this chapter roughly a 9 out of 10. It's a good breeze of a chapter. Excuse me. After going through 2 straight matches, you probably need a break to have some conversation. And this was definitely a good idea for the writer to do. So it looks like definitely next chapter we'll have match 3. So I think this will still be one more fight before Deku's team get a chance to do their fighting as well. And I would not be surprised if this next fight would take up 3 chapters. But who knows, okay? So that's it for this particular review. Stay tuned for tomorrow. I'm going to do my review of newest episode of One Piece, and of course, new chapter manga. I'm also going to review Boruto tomorrow, the 5th D Green Man Hollow, and Hunter x Hunter anime, Hunter x Hunter manga, and a few comic corners. Okay? But there's the next review. Bye.